Welcome back to the episode of Wrestling Around, where this week we are doing the first ever Monday Night Raw. It's been, 30 years on Wednesday, if Lou pulls his finger out and gets this out on Wednesday.
Might do. Depends how much I got to edit it, doesn't it? So, behave yourself.
But before we get into that, joining me is world-class wrestling journalist Aaron. Aaron, how are we doing?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad this week.
Good. Tired?
No, I'm feeling all right, actually.
Good stuff.
Had a couple of days off work, so, feeling fresh as a daisy until tomorrow.
Happy days. And for once, we're actually watching a show where because you always watch the show when we're supposed to watch it. You're the only one who consistently does. We are doing the show the week that you watched the show.
Yeah, watched it earlier today.
I'm offended by this, Ross. I always
no, because you never finish it. You never finish it because either me or Terry says we can't do it. So then you don't finish it. So then you watch the show. You finish the show the week after. Whereas Aaron sometimes waits a month before he says his comments on it.
Yeah, I have the capacity to finish the show.
What I'm saying. You don't finish the show.
I don't need to. But if I needed to, I would do.
No, but you refresh your memory of the show. Right before the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Lew, you're here.
Yeah,
good. Decided that you didn't want to bring Bob out.
Well, so Ross, the thing is, right, I'm downstairs today. Because I'm basically there's a long story why Bob's not here, but it starts with my New Year's resolution issue is to sleep. Just like actually sleep like a regular functioning adult.
And you can't sleep without Bob, so he's stuck in bed.
Yeah, so he's in bed. but so I've in my office, I've changed the light because I had that awful hub light. So I've changed that. But I put a white light bulb in there, for like daytime. But I don't want it to keep me awake. So I'm down here with the warm light. But I've got a new sofa down here that's too big and cumbersome to move. I don't like it, taking it back. But side note, right? Next aren't coming to pick it up until the 31st of January. I feel like it's almost like they want me to fuck it up, innit?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to just put it to a side somehow. Anyway, I come over to move it.
Have you not just got the same settee that you've got now? What the 3-seat? Oh no, you've got some sort of.
No, I went for the chase end, but then because I'm impatient, I was like, oh, a corner chase that'll work, and also that's available in 5 days. But the corner's just a bit too big. It's not. It's going right over the. It just looks messy. I'm not feeling it. It's covering too much of the window. And I don't want to be like, one of my cousins and have a suite that's too big.
Just name him. He bought the suite the wrong way and then just decided to ram it in the middle of his room anyhow.
Yeah, he's not listening, is he? He's not listening for a while. But
he bought the wrong corner because he's a moron.
Yeah, and then someone else. Well, he had a traumatic incident because he was sat at home, right, just a few weeks before Easter, and someone went into his house, like unwrapped, took out one of his Easter eggs. And just lobbed it against the wall. Can you believe that happened? Destroy his Easter egg.
Who would do that?
I don't know. Disgusting behaviour.
About 30, 40 years ago now, but it's kind of polite. So that happened. But anyway, So that's why Bob's not here because for all those reasons, Russ. I don't want to damage his base anymore, so I want to get a more movable sofa. But we've got Scroobius Pip here. Can I ask him how he is?
No, he goes on a bit, doesn't he, on podcasts?
Well, the thing is, like, I don't really do any music.
It doesn't matter anymore. Who he is, and that's fine.
I've done music. I've done music before, right? But then I don't do music now. I just do podcasts and I'm acting.
You want to go? He's a professional extra at this point. Come on.
You could have got one of the other guest presenters on.
Yeah, I could have.
Yeah, I could have got.
So speaking of Nanny Lind, Mrs. made me watch Masked Singer. I am convinced that one of them is Nanny Lind.
Oh, which one?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to the outfits.
No.
I was sat playing on my Switch and she was watching it.
I reckon she's trash for us.
Just the accent, it sounds like Nanny Lind. I was like, yeah, definitely, yeah.
I don't understand the Masked Singer, right? I caught the last 10 minutes of it on Saturday. Right? Ross, you seem like a season veteran.
Yeah, I watch a lot of reality TV.
Right. So are they just judging it purely on singing voice?
No, they have like vignettes.
Okay, but like
it has clues in it.
No, how do they decide who's eliminated?
So
the vote, I think, in the crowd.
But I think it's fixed.
Probably.
So I was listening to Jericho's summary of 2022 podcast because obviously he did the American one.
Yeah.
He said that he basically got a contract for 5 weeks. He came to the end of the 5 weeks and they asked him to extend it. And he couldn't because of other work commitments. But he said it's quite lucky, really, because that's when he had he bruised all his neck, didn't he? He wasn't able to sing.
Yeah.
So he said it kind of was quite lucky, really, that he didn't extend the contract. In which terms means it's fixed.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because when I was watching it, they were like, "Oh, this person's out." They got voted out by the judges, and then obviously they took the mask off, and it was Lulu. And they're like, "Oh my god, I fucking love Lulu! What a legend!" It's like you just voted her out, or unless I'm missing something.
No, that's
what the fuck.
I don't know what it is.
How does the professional singer go out?
Yeah, I know. Chris Kamara went out first week. It makes me laugh though, because you get the fucking Rita Ora is absolutely thick as mince. Like there's literally nobody's home. And she'll say somebody they're all like, I know they hype it up, but she'll say somebody like, I don't know, I think that might be Beyonce.
Yeah.
And then it's not gonna be Beyonce, is it? And the first one out was fucking Patsy Kensit. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
I don't think it's gonna be that.
The one I saw the first time was when Ken Jeong had to pretend he knew Alan Johnson was, which was one of my favorite TV moments of all time. But it's like, oh my god, it's Alan Johnson! Like he had no idea. Why would he?
I hope he got paid well for that show because he had absolutely no idea who anybody was.
Yeah, and how much Mo Gilligan does TV need us? He was on
both. He was on both channels. Saturday nights. He has 2 Saturday night primetime shows.
Yeah, with Salt Pepper on.
That's my jam.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's awful. It's too American, isn't it?
You filmed it in America, probably.
I quite enjoyed it.
Is that why all the guests are American? I've enjoyed one show, the one with Joey Fatone on it, and that's because I enjoy Joey Fatone. Donny Osmond was also weird on it.
Jason Derulo was this
week. Donny Osmond was so weird. And whoever the British one was, Becky Hill, I think she's called. Jesus Christ, she's annoying.
Yeah, she wasn't.
She's the most annoying person ever. And I saw on Twitter, somebody said, so that's what happened to Orville, what she was wearing. And I found it hilarious.
It's a good game though when he had to pick up the mic, catch the mics.
It was too rehearsed for me.
That's the only bit I saw.
Yeah, there's loads of things. So the best bit of the show, I think, is where they do a song in a different genre, and they're like, "Oh, what random genre is it going to be?" I don't know. I'll just belt it out. Perfect, because I've been rehearsing it for 3 weeks, probably.
Yeah. Should have got Jimmy Fallon to do our version of it.
Well, yeah, on the American one, Chance the Rapper did do a country version of It's Hot in Here by Nelly, and it's amazing. So that's the best bit of the show.
Tim McGraw.
Yeah. Whereas Donny Osmond did one, and then he was just weird. Donny Osmond, he was so weird. You know, like when Shane McMahon wears his trainers, and you're like, you are nearly 50. Why are you just like that? Donny Osmond was the same vibes.
What have you got against suits and trainers? I told you, it's a good look.
It's Patrick Keeley.
Yeah.
Some people can. You're not.
Some people can pull it off.
Yeah, no, Patrick Keeley couldn't even pull it off.
Me.
Bit Ellen in it.
Me and my wife's Christmas do. I pulled it off. So.
No, I can't have it. But Donny wasn't wearing a suit or anything. It was like a weird leather jacket. He just looked so overplayed. Flat out ridiculous.
Yeah, have a go at old men in leather jackets. Have a go at Triple H. Go on. Do it. All these wrestling legends. Yeah, you don't have a go at.
I will have a go at Triple H if he wears bright white trainers with him.
Yeah, he's not done that yet. He might do.
He's not done that yet. Shame a man would.
Well, you got an issue with people wearing white trainers. Go on, have a go at Adam Owens right now.
No, right. I ain't got an issue with white trainers. I have a massive issue with Adam Owens' white trainers.
No, because he is one of our listeners to that. Possibly.
I won't say it then, but I was annoyed at him. Somebody's quite particular about trainers. I was annoyed. And for that matter, while we're going on about trainers, I don't like begging the trainers either. He's not listening. He's
not. Go on.
I don't like rank begging the canvas shoes at Art Branded.
What a snob.
Right then, it's 30 years since the first ever Raw.
Oh yeah.
It was in MSG.
Yeah,
this was
No one.
Was it not? No one. I'm reading. I've literally got it here. Monday Night Raw, January 11th, 1993.
We need a respected wrestling journalist in front of the show. This is just ridiculous.
Oh God. It was in the Manhattan, isn't there?
What's Cedric doing?
Oh,
yeah.
Well, he's been destroyed because Peter Shea loves his mustache. Listen to last week's Christmas special. If that doesn't make any sense to anybody.
Last week's was the greatest show of all time.
Yes.
Wrestled around episode of all time.
100%,
yeah. Okay. We'll move on now.
So, WWE have decided that they need a new Monday night show. They've picked Raw. It's an hour. They record them back to back, so 1 week's live, 1 week's not. It's now 3 hours long, Raw. So before we actually go through the show, but having said that, people say there is too much wrestling content for WWE now, and you've got 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, and 2 hours of NXT, so it's 7 hours. Mm-hmm. However, the amount of other shows they had at this time, you've probably not got that much more now. So you had an hour of Raw, you had the hour on Saturday morning, you had the Tuesday night in Texas or whatever it was.
Yeah,
you probably had about 5 hours of wrestling.
Yeah, Tuesday night time. Yeah, that was a talk show on that one.
I don't know.
I like the idea of that one. I should bring that back.
Talking Smack.
Yeah, but like on a prime time, like Jonathan Ross or something like that.
But you had the Saturday morning shows. You had loads of shows.
Yeah.
So is it that much of a difference? Although I did enjoy this because it was over 45 minutes.
Yeah, no, I think it was back in the day. They used to have like syndicated shows, didn't they? So they just sold them, it's like local networks, and they showed them roughly when they told them to.
Right.
But I think this was the first time they were on like just a cable network going out to everyone. From my understanding.
So, I've got it here actually. So WWF had 3 primary TV shows, which was Superstars, Wrestling Challenge, and Primetime Wrestling. The first 2 aired in syndication, the latter aired on the USA Network on Tuesday, and then eventually Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
So what was that bloody American Wrestling or whatever they were advertising all
Saturday morning show, I think, wasn't it?
Is that a Saturday morning show?
Yeah. Oh, so Primetime Wrestling became Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Because Vince wanted to spice it up.
Yeah.
Because business began to decline. There we go.
Uncooked.
Yeah.
Uncensored.
That's what I said. Right. We'll start with the commentary team. Because I just need to get the commentary team out of the way before we go through the show. So we've got Vince McMahon. Early 90s, the WWE 90s, that's what you expect in it. We've got Randy Savage. I don't think I've heard him on commentary before, but he did a nice job. And then we've got...
He did all right considering the circumstances of this fucker you're just about to mention. Yeah.
Then we've got Rob Bartlett. I've never heard of this fella before. He's apparently a comedian. I say apparently. It wasn't funny. And the show starts. We'll get into this first segment because it's like a bit of a cold open in it with Sean Mooney and
legend. Yeah.
But then they go inside. Starts with Vince McMahon. He's like, "Welcome to Raw." Randy Savage says something. Rob Bartlett then opens his mouth, calls him Yokozuna with an M, and then goes on about a diaper. And you can literally see on Vince McMahon's face, "Oh God, I've hired the wrong person for this show." You can see him, and he immediately turns away and talks to Randy Savage.
Yeah, I mean, how did Randy Savage not deck him at one point?
And I'm sure this is the reason Vince McMahon micromanages his commentators because he's building up. Because Yokozuna wins the 93 Rumble tonight.
Yeah.
So he's a massive monster, and you've got this fucking dickhead going on about a diaper.
I just call him fat like all the way through it. He made every fat joke going, didn't he? It was, but is this not the most Vince thing ever? It takes like the best part of the show off, teases you with the best part of the show, and then puts this dickhead on. It's like he brings in new commentators that he doesn't want you to like him, but this guy he's up there with Ed Ferrara.
Yeah.
Just Ed Ferrara, really.
I think he's the worst.
Mark Madden. I mean, to be fair, I thought that the first TNA pay-per-view was one of the worst opening shows of any promotion. I'm going to say that's a nice rivalry for me.
This had one redeeming factor all the way through it.
It did.
Yes. And I'm sure we can all agree on what it is.
Yes. So we'll go a little bit about Rob Bartlett. So he was a local radio DJ on the Don Imus show. And Vince added him to commentary to give an outsider's opinion and to inject some humor into the broadcast. And apparently, he loved his celebrity impressions. So Vince liked him. That's why he got hired.
He likes his celebrity impressions.
Yeah.
Did he after this show?
Probably
like a fucking 10 minutes later on.
Yeah. It was just Vince's face.
It was Vince's face, and then it was every time he made a fat joke, you just heard Vince go, ha, 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 and then move on. And then Damien was trying to correct him all the way. Oh, it was one mess. He lasted till April. Which I know it doesn't seem long, but it's a very long. That's longer than Adnan Beck.
It lasted too long, in my opinion.
Longer than Mike Adley.
I thought he was going to get. What's his name? Aided English. Replaced halfway through. Never to be seen on commentary again.
But yeah, what does Wikipedia say? It said his commentary was poorly received as he had little knowledge of the wrestling business. His final appearance on a professional wrestling program was April 19th, 1993.
Never seen again.
Never seen again in wrestling. He moved on to Broadway. So
different strokes, different folks, I guess.
I don't think I've recognized. He's got a long Wikipedia article.
Right.
I don't recognize anything that he was on.
Okay. So I had to get that out of the way for the commentary. He looks like an idiot, doesn't he? Sunglasses. Right, we'll start with the opening then. So
he was in a trio, an improv trio with Eddie Murphy. Anyway, there we go.
And then I imagine Eddie Murphy left because he had all the talent.
Yeah.
And that guy went on local radio.
Yeah.
Right, we'll start with the opening then. So we open with New York, and then we get the man of the hour, Sean Mooney. Saying welcome to the new WWE Raw, and then we get the Brain. The Brain tries to get in, and Sean Mooney says he's been banned from the building.
This is heartbreaking, isn't it?
In the best, and then to be fair, you don't know about Bartlett at this point because this is slightly before.
Yeah.
So, but I love how Sean Mooney is also security.
Yeah.
What does Sean Mooney care?
Why is this outside? Yeah.
Sean Mooney also wasn't allowed in.
Yeah.
So Brain says, he's trying to get in. He says, give me a press pass. I'll buy a ticket. Sean Mooney, I'll buy a ticket. Sean Mooney, somebody can't. It's sold out. That's good. Good business.
It's good. Yeah. Hold on.
And then Heenan isn't allowed in. They start arguing, and then it cuts halfway through arguing, and then we won't see Heenan again until the end of the show. Or will we? I don't think it can be proved that it's him. A strange way to open Raw, I think. I think they could have done this afterwards. Do you not think it was an odd way to open it?
No.
I mean, it was brilliant, and it was the best segment of the night.
Oh yeah.
No, but for your new show,
yeah.
To me, the big thing for me, it was the first ever Raw. It didn't feel like a big deal.
That's what I mean. Because
at no point during the 45 minutes of the show did I think, "Oh, this feels like a big deal." Apart from the one reference I've made to it selling out.
Yeah.
It felt very weird to me.
Don't you think a better opening would have been the credits or the opening video package, and then Vince saying "Welcome to Monday Night Raw"? They talk a bit, and then they go outside, and Sean Mooney's doing this bit exact same way. Yeah.
The only thing I was thinking on that, and I might be completely wrong, but sometimes on American TV, they do have like a very, very small opening, don't they, and then go to commercials. Because obviously they took all the commercials out of this.
So
I don't know if they did that skit and then commercials and then came back into the opening credits.
Yeah,
because that's how Saturday Night Live used to open. Well, it still does, and that's probably I think that's kind of the vibe he was going for on it.
Right. Like I guess that would make sense then.
Yeah, but you've got one of the greatest announcers of all time, Ross, and Bobby the Brain Heenan. You want to put him in a segment together, don't you?
You're going to get Magic.
Sean Mooney. You got,
two absolute players.
The Mooney money. It's what you're on. Mooney. Should have got a beer, really. Someone should have got Mooney.
A beer.
Yeah.
And the brain is single-handedly. He's my favorite color commentator of all time. He's my favorite wrestling personality of all time.
Yeah,
he's so good. And no matter what he does, he's just the best at it.
It was hilarious when he had to explain later on why he'd done like a pre-recorded tape. Like they obviously messed up what they were doing with that, didn't they? But it was fantastic stuff.
So we'll go on to the first match then. It's Yokozuna with an N. With Mr. Fuji, and he's against Terry Peters' favorite wrestler, Koko B, Ware, who comes into the high energy theme. So Terry Peters will be absolutely loving it straight away. Loves the Birdman. Then they're having a match. So Yokozuna hasn't been beaten at this point. He's one of the big heels. I don't know if he thought he was going to win the Rumble. I don't know how popular he was, but they're obviously acting. He's a big deal, isn't he? And he's going against Koko B. Ware. We know how he's gonna go out, but we've got that fucking Bartlett saying Koko B. Ware is a grown-up Gary Coleman.
Yeah, I think what he actually said was, I always wondered what happened to Gary Coleman, and now we know.
And Vince just goes, "Oh yeah."
I'm not being funny, but when you're being outshone by Macho Man Randy Savage on comms, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I know they wanted an outsider's perspective, but they should have given him like some reps, because basically all this Rob Bartlett fella did, like he didn't even like an outsider's perspective is one thing, but he didn't even like wrestling, did he?
No, he
was basically saying what people would say if they were watching it. He didn't like wrestling. He was just taking the piss basically all the way through. He was like, I don't know what they were thinking, but I know Vince does this every now and again. Like it's never really stopped, has it?
No, it's not like this lesson. Vince says Yokozuna means the grand champion, and Bartlett responds by saying he's got an ass like an amphitheater.
Yeah.
So.
It's just when Vince is like, oh yeah. But Savage like tries to correct it a few times, then just gives up in the end of it. It's just ridiculous.
Because Savage took the business really seriously, so I imagine he's really annoyed.
He'd been fuming. I'm surprised he lasts as long as April. I really am. He can't have been on. I don't know. We might watch more in the future, but he can't have had him on every week. Surely they must have moved into like a backstage interview or something. You would think. I don't know.
Yeah, surely he would have been pulled off straight away.
Yeah.
But Raw is uncooked and uncensored. They have a squash match. Yokozuna wins it in 3 minutes 45 seconds. It's what you're thinking. Yokozuna is, I'm assuming, a big star at this point. You're not going to open it with Hogan. I thought Hogan was on this card. He's not. I really thought it was.
No.
But you're not going to open it with your main event, are you, on the first one? So Yokozuna comes out, squashes, looks good before the Rumble. Job done, I think.
Yeah, they're getting over a big star, aren't they? And I guess the other thing as well is they probably thought he was the future. So you want someone like a big star being the first person. I don't think they probably thought Raw was going to go on 30 years.
No.
But do you know what I mean? It's like they like doing that sort of thing, don't they? Where like, oh, Yokozuna won the first ever Raw match, and it's like just another notch on his belt, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's Hall of Fame. Is he in the Hall of Fame? I think he is, isn't he?
Yeah, he must be. Yeah,
because they open it with Yokozuna won the first ever match on Monday Night Raw, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't. Meltzer doesn't do ratings for TV matches, does
he? He does not. No.
Unless
they're really good.
So for the first time ever, we're going to get star ratings for WWE Raw or WWF Raw from the only rating scale that matters. Well, Dave Meltzer's quit anyhow, as we found out last week.
Yeah, that's it. That's why there's no ratings. He's gone.
What is the official star rating for Yokozuna against Koko B? Ware?
1 star. It did a job. Want anything to write home about, was it?
I imagine they're all going to be around that level.
By the end of the show, I want a star rating of the Heathen skits. That's what we're really here for.
Okay.
I think that's what we need. Okay, then we get a commercial of the Royal Rumble. That's in 2 weeks. The Royal Rumble. And there's going to be a match between Bret Hart and Razor Ramon at the Rumble. Other matches will be announced throughout the night. And then we get a Raw Girl. Any thoughts on the Raw Girl? I think he nicked it from boxing. Is the vibe he's going for?
Yeah, yeah. Why not? Yeah.
To put it politely, she wasn't anything to write home about, was she? Like, if you're gonna pick I don't know what you call them, a Raw Girl. Look at the Nitro girls.
Ring girls, yeah.
Ring girls, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the Nitro girls, and they're all very attractive, etc., etc. This girl looks like she belonged in a Cyndi Lauper music video. She had her hair and everything, didn't she?
Yeah. That's probably what Vince was going for, though, when he was always behind the times, wasn't he?
He wanted
it
more modest, apparently.
Well, I listened to.
What's the point? What's she signaling?
Give him a couple of years, and it goes in the total opposite direction, doesn't it?
A couple of years later, it's like tits. But yeah, at that point. But yeah, apparently at one point, they were considering for Raw, like having it like a charity boxing event almost, with like tables and black tie and stuff as the crowd, rather than just like a normal.
Maybe not Raw, but that needs to be a wrestling event.
Yeah, but if you listen to like Bruce Pritchard's, I think he must have done it on like the 25th anniversary. That's like one of the pictures they had for Monday Night Raw. Same venue, because he was in the ballroom on it. But have it like black tie event.
Maybe that's what we'll do for when Rest Around starts doing live events.
Yeah, could do that actually. Black tie. Black tie rumble.
I think that's what it needs to be. It's a niche in the wrestling market that's not been tapped into. Right then, so Heenan's not allowed in. However, they are allowing him to play a pre-taped interview.
Ridiculous.
And he's introducing a new wrestler, Narcissus, who's going to go against Mr. Perfect. I haven't done any research into this, but I'm fairly sure that's Lex Luger.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
it is Lex Luger. Yeah,
oh, it is. I was going to Google it, but yeah,
he's basically saying that Mr. Perfect, you've never seen anything like it, and he's going to batter you. Well, he's a better Mr. Perfect than you. I think is the gist of the promo.
Yeah.
It was all right, wasn't it? Have you got any thoughts on Heenan? This isn't the best Heenan in the show, is it?
He said narcissist weirdly. That put me off.
He did, yeah.
That was
he's not saying narcissist, though, is he? He's saying narcissist.
I thought that's what his thing was. I thought he was just a narcissist. I thought that was his name.
I thought it was narcissist. No. Well, the review I'm using says narcissus.
Narcissus. Right.
Yeah, that's what they were obviously.
Yeah.
They was calling him before he.
Narcissus. I'm fairly sure is an old, either Greek or Roman gladiator / wrestler.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was a Narcissus wrestler. He assassinated the Roman Emperor Commodus in 192 AD.
There we go. That's where it comes from, I think.
Yeah, they must have changed his name before he came out, because he was just a narcissist like Luger by the time he got to
They did that, like Kane the Undertaker on it. Changed
wrestling. Yeah. But yeah, he said it weird. It was all right. Mr. Perfect is a big baby face at this point, because he's only like 2 or 3 weeks away from defeating Ric Flair in a lose time match on a Ronnie.
Yeah. Well, I think Flair was sort of involved in this. Wasn't Flair?
Yeah. He was in Heenan's stable.
Yeah, brings in Luger, who, what is it, 3 years later? Luger's not there in his opening WCW or Nitro.
Yeah.
That's niche, isn't it? I know he's not on this show, but he's mentioned on both. I can't remember when he was linked to both shows.
Yeah, well, is Heenan on both?
I don't know.
Yeah, Heenan was on both. Flair was on both.
Yeah. Seen him commentating on.
Have we done the first Nitro?
No, because it's in a shopping mall, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I believe we've done that because we would have talked about Pastamania. Have we have to? I don't
know. Who knows? Right, moving on then. We've got the next match. Speaking of people who were on WCW, the Steiner Brothers are going against the Executioners, who were just dressed hilariously. Oh, God. What's his name?
Rob Bartlett.
Back in the Bartlett.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Bartlett asked which one's Rick and which one's Scott, didn't he?
Yeah.
How do I work them out? What the fuck? Do your research.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I get the outsider's perspective thing, but to a point, it just looked
amateur.
It looks so bad. Yeah, it made WWE look so small. This guy's coming basically taking the piss.
He's not even the big guy either, is he? He's not like a famous man. He's a local radio DJ who doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, it's like bloody getting what's that twat? Bubble the Love Sponge or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, Savage tries to make a joke, doesn't he? And says it the other way around. And then you can just tell Vince is pissed off because he immediately corrects him.
What does he say? Savage, he says some real confusing, like, I might be tricking you, but only if I'm not tricking you. I can't remember what his line was now.
He says, I'm tricking you, but I'm not joking you.
Oh, that was the one. Yeah. Yeah, it made no sense. Because that's exactly what he was doing.
And then Vince says something like, how can you tell that's Scott Steiner in the ring? I mean, he gets so annoyed.
Well, that's it, because he's like, oh, these two are like all-American athletes. And he's going, oh, their outfits are a bit shit. Like, Rob Bartlett. Like, it's just, it's so bad.
Okay, right. Does anybody know who any of the executioners are? I think you will have heard of one.
It's Edge and Christian.
It's not Edge and Christian.
Yeah, no.
Matt and Jeff Hardy. That's closer than you think. So one of them's called Barry Hardy, who I guess is the third. Is that how Michael P.S. Hayes was playing when he was? Yeah, sure. He used to come out with him. So Barry Hardy, and the second person is a friend of the show, Dwayne Gill.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Gilbert.
Oh. So Gilbert was on the first Monday Night Raw. Wow.
Yeah. Gilbert and Jeff Hardy's dad.
Yeah. Oh, it's acting. I never knew that. Because at first he said something about the Beverly Brothers, but was that at the paper? Was that at the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, that's not these two people.
Yeah, because they said the Beverly Brothers, and then they turned around. There's these two like bags on. What the fuck's going on? Yeah.
These two gimps.
Yeah. It's like the Ding Dongs. There's a lot of parallels between this and the first TNA pay-per-view. I think about it.
He's outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although the first TNA is
the Johnsons, that one, wasn't it? The Dicks on it.
Yeah, 8 years later.
Yeah, that's all it was.
They should have learned. Nobody should have learned.
No, but that's weird to think about. If you think how much the wrestling business changed, and think about what wrestling was like 8 years ago, kind of the same.
Yeah.
Or WWE is at least. Yeah.
In the crowd is Doink the Clown. According to our best friend Bartlett, Dork the Clown.
Yeah.
And then even Vince doesn't know his name, so Savage reminds him that he's Doink.
This was the best version of Doink, though, wasn't
it? No, I think he should have gone further.
Creepy ass clown. Should have kidnapped someone.
But because I've been sort of obsessed with this because I think it was a Doink special. I was on Bruce Pritchard's podcast, and he mentioned about Doink, and Conrad says, "Where do you think Doink could have gone?" And Bruce Pritchard said, "I would have made him world champion." And he said, imagine having a circus themed pay per view, but not like circus, creepy circus. You've got the tent.
Yeah,
that would have been insane, and I think that would have been so good. You could have made Doink an absolute sadistic clown.
Oh yeah.
Pennywise him.
Bring it back. About lots of different people have played Doink anyway. Bring it back.
Yeah.
I guess that's sort of what Bray Wyatt's character was getting towards on it with the Fiend.
Yeah, a bit like
a little bit.
Triple A did it, didn't it? With he's called Psycho Clown, I think.
Murder Clown, isn't it?
One of the there's three clowns.
Oh yeah.
One of them became their main champion. Like it's very similar.
Yeah.
That's for me what they should have done. I think heel Doink is a lot better than face Doink.
Yeah, because face Doink was just annoying at that point. It's just a jobber in it, really. But
yeah, But I ever since Bruce Pritchard said that, I think yes, that should have been a thing. Why didn't they do that?
Yeah.
So I always get a bit sad when I see Dank.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because what could have been. But he's back. He'll be back later on in the show. This match goes 3 minutes again. It's another squash match. Obviously, the Steiners win with what did they call it? Steiner Bulldog or Steiner Dog or something.
Steiner Dog. Yeah,
Steiner Dog, I think, whatever they call it.
Dog.
Vince says it's the best bulldog of all time, or high flying bulldog, doesn't he? They win. Steiner Eyes, yeah, that's the name of it. I found it. Again, squash 45 minutes. You aren't going to do any 15, 20-minute matches, are you? Because you've got no room for what else. So, served its purpose, made the Steiners look like badasses.
Yeah, and this is all wrestling was back in the day. It was only when the Monday Night War started that they even had competitive matches, really.
Yeah.
You had one competitive match in episode, which we get next. But yeah, that's all it needs to be. Let them look good.
Served its purpose. I love the Steiner Brothers. The Steiner Brothers are so good.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of them recently, haven't we?
So good. They are. I think
they
may be my favourite tag team of all time.
Oh, that's a bold shout.
Yeah.
I always thought you liked the Revival.
The Revival wish they were the Steiners.
Sasha and Naomi, I think.
Jesus Christ. Small Slaughterhouse is better than them.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think the Steiners are in my top 3.
I'm trying to think of a tag team that I think that I enjoy more than the Steiners. I don't think I can think of one.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we've not really seen any. This probably has been a bad few because we've seen a lot of WCW, but yeah, for the most part, they're just something different, aren't they? Especially in this day and age. Like,
I think any era of wrestling, the Steiners work.
Yeah, I think they work really well now.
They'd be so good now.
Yeah.
Bring back Scott Steiner. I guess you've got it, haven't you? You've got Rob Breaker.
Yeah, and you've got
Steiner.
What are they called? Creed Bros.
Yeah, I was expecting to say Alpha Academy.
Yeah, well, to a point.
Yeah, but I did love American Alpha.
Yeah,
especially when they won. Did we see them win? We see someone beat the Revival, didn't we?
Take of Dallas. And
the crowd went absolutely nuts, didn't they?
Absolutely nuts. Yeah.
I can't think of any tag team. You think the Jeff Hardys were the Jeff Hardys, the Hardy Boys, but I think I'd probably rather watch a Steiner match.
Oh yeah, from a pure wrestling point of view, there's no comparison, is there really?
If the Hardy Boys didn't do TLC or the ladder matches, I won't be asked.
Yeah.
I can't think of any of this.
I think New Day and Usos get overlooked these days, but yeah.
Yeah. But then they're victims of being around too long.
I know, but that tag team Hell in a Cell match was fantastic. 5 stars all day long on my skill.
Is it right? Yeah, no. I'm saying I'm committing to it. Yeah. It's my favorite tag team of all time.
Good. Yeah.
So, having said that, what did this match get, Aaron?
1 star.
Yeah, you were.
Again, nothing to write home about yet again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're all going to be like this.
Again, served its purpose yet again, didn't it? Just, nothing else to really say about it.
Just putting people over in it. That's all it needs to do.
That's all TV should be. People
but I like those
too wrapped up about TV.
Big physical lads like that being up jobbers.
Yeah, I love to see that.
Yeah.
Makes him just look hard as nails, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right then. Speaking of stuff I'm all for, outside Sean Mooney's still there. I guess he's still doing security. And then this woman tries to get past him. And Mooney will not let her get past. So apparently, this woman is the auntie of our favourite commentator Rob Bartlett. Sean Mooney's about to let her in, and then he takes the wig off the head, the brain, and he's underneath the wig. And then he starts begging and offering money to get in.
Amazing.
This is such good TV. It's so ridiculous. Do you know what? This is so good because Heenan doesn't care. He just throws himself into it.
Yeah,
that's the best. The best comedy wrestling is throwing yourself into it.
Well, it's like Regal. Oh, he's saying he always says like, "Well, that's my job. I'm an actor. I'm doing the comedy, so I'm doing it." Like,
I think this is my favourite Heenan segment of the night.
Yeah. Did they say Ron Balor at one point, or is that later? Is that later? That's the wrong name. At one point, yeah, Mooney snatching those edges, steal the wig like that.
Mooney just whipping weaves off left, right, and centre.
Yeah. I like the security guard in the background there, just like because he must be an actual real security guard. I think stood behind Sean Mooney. Yeah.
Good stuff. They don't do they don't do segments like this anymore. They don't do backstage segments now. That's not an interview.
No, they don't do as many of these comedy ones.
Or it's like an awkward two people meet and talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't do segments.
We're getting the prison Mike Dom Mysterio out here, so it's as close as we're gonna get, I think.
Do you remember all the clubs? Remember when Teddy Long, Regal were general managers? Ron Simmons was about. You had some great backstage segments, but Regal did the conga for one.
Yeah, it's just like it's the comedy one today. I miss them. I really wish, like, when on pay-per-views now, when it goes to the Peacock adverts, and it's just obviously we've got the premium version in the UK, so we don't get the adverts. We just get
Lashley story,
a Lashley story every Just do exclusive backstage things for that. Stick them on YouTube afterwards for the American fans to see.
Yeah,
bring back Ron Simmons.
Ron Simmons.
Yes.
The WrestleMania parties. Anytime there's like 4th of July, Christmas, Easter, they have a backstage party that ends in the food fight. All those, I want them back.
Even back in the Attitude Era, you had like Edge with his cat-angle signs and the photos saying I'm stupid and all that. And then you've got APA making people walk through the door. Mick Foley having a different like cupboard for his office every week.
Yeah, because in fact, I only watch SmackDown now, but every backstage segment that's not an interview is the Bloodline, basically at this point. It's good story-wise, and Sammy's obviously hilarious at times, but I know what you mean. You watch pure comedy sometimes. Like, this serves no purpose, really, other than just to be funny.
It's just good. But they used to say, I think Christian said it, they used to do stuff like put like random wrestlers in it. Because he said that he tried to make himself the star of every segment he was in. So there was like one where I think Mark Henry was doing like feats of strength. Stuff like that. Where he was like lifting stuff. Just to prove how strong he was. And they had all these wrestlers like betting he could do it and stuff like that. Just spice it up a bit, you know what I mean? Get a bit different, because that's the main problem with Raw, SmackDown, anything. It's too formulaic. You could just slice segments out and put them in any show. Why would it? But you've got 3 hours now, so you've got even more time to do it. Moving on, then we have a Razor Ramon interview. I like Razor Ramon. This was awful.
I think what made this worse was Vince interrupting him all the time.
Vince is rubbish, isn't
he? This era Vince is terrible.
This isn't even the Where's Vince segment. That's coming up at the end of the show. I just Razor Ramon, I thought he sounded like an idiot. He sounded like he was reading off a card. He had no flow whatsoever in his speech. And he didn't really say anything.
I said that Brett's got no chance, basically.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
I know we've seen some terrible promos from this era of wrestling, but this is going to be up there one of the worst.
Just awkward one after a while.
Yeah. You're cringing inside, you're turning inside out.
I feel like they can't have understood, because I think this I don't know if I might think this could be completely wrong, but I think this is one of the first times they've done like live TV. I think you can kind of tell sometimes that they're just trying to find their feet with. You know what I mean? They were probably like, "Oh, well, we'll do this interview and then we'll finish it," and then it was like, "Oh no, actually, we've got 2 minutes before commercials." Like, all right, keep going then. So I think it just felt a bit awkward. And with Vince, I don't know if it's because he's the owner, but you can tell sometimes that he's really invested in the storylines and he wants to present it in a certain way. And if it's not going his way, you can almost feel him get agitated sometimes and interrupt a bit too much and micromanage.
So Razor Ramon, basically, he talks about Bret Hart. He beat up Owen Hart, and then he throws his toothpick in the face of Vince.
That was weird, because I thought they'd just shown the wrong clip at first, because he was carrying on talking all in it. They didn't get the sound right. I was like, what the hell's going on here?
You know what? Vince is terrible at interviews as well, because he doesn't hold the microphone close enough to the mouth.
No.
He don't know where to hold it, so it's even worse later on. And I think he just said, I've given up on this show. I'm not doing it ever again. I'm surprised Raw's lasted 30 years after this car crash. We then go on to Savage talking about a house show coming up. This is for the Somalia relief charity Headlock on Hunger. And then we get a promo from Tatanka, which I'm pretty sure Bartlett says something about him. I can't remember what it was. Does he say his name wrong or something? He says something.
Probably, yeah.
The Vince says something else.
Yeah.
Before we get on to, probably it's not the main event, but it's the longest match of 10 minutes. It's Shawn Michaels, the Intercontinental Champion, against Max Moon, who is potentially, I was going to say, he's one of the worst stress wrestlers I've ever seen. And then the Undertaker faced somebody later on.
Don't you think he was dressed a bit like Dave from IT?
Yes.
Yeah. What a throwback.
What a great character that was. So this gimmick was made for Conan. And then he left and it was given to somebody else. I can't remember who it was. I did Google it earlier. But Conan obviously thought this was a good idea because his attire in WCW early on was very similar, wasn't it? Very weird. Apparently nicked it from anime.
I thought Conan. I always assumed Conan left because of this gimmick.
No, apparently it's his idea.
When he was shooting streamers or whatever it was into the air at the beginning.
Thomas Borich was the one, or better known by his ring name, Paul Diamond. Was who it became. He was one half of Bad Company with Pat Tanaka. He was also Kato in the WWF and one half of the Orient Express with Tanaka. Croatian fella. So, and then I think on the Indies it was called Maximilian Moves, which you got to love. Trained by Dean Malenko. No wonder I was bored in this match.
He's on one today.
This is where they get the thing. The Intercontinental's the workhorse title, don't they? Shawn Michaels is obviously very good. Max Moons is okay. Doink's in the crowd. Is this the match we on about Bartlett's impression?
Was this some of the Mike Tyson thing that went on?
Yeah.
This is
just insufferable.
It wasn't just a Mike Tyson impersonation. It was him pretending to be Mike Tyson calling from prison.
Yeah, Vince was like interviewing, like really. I don't know if Vince just didn't know what to do at this point, but he was just like, "Oh, Mike." It was like I don't want to say it, but it was sometimes like when Bob Roode appears, you don't really,
you don't know what to do.
You don't really know what to do. That's it.
I just, yeah, I think less said about old Barty Boy, the better.
I mean, it's the entire match, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, near enough.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about this match is Shawn Michaels does the super kick, or switch of music, and then hits his suplex. Because people, you forget, don't you, that was his actual finisher, was a teardrop suplex. And that's how we finished it at 10 minutes 30. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to watch watching it when you when you're listening to an interview with Mike Tyson. So I'm interested to see what the start rate is for this match.
It was an hard for me. It was an hard one because it was the best match of the night, wasn't
it? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's still going to get like 1.5. You know, it can't be more than 1.5 stars, can it? Because it was the commentary on this match is fucking horrendous. So fucking distracting. If the commentary was better, if you had someone like JR and King on comms, you'd probably scrape 2.5. But it's just,
yeah.
I mean, you don't expect fucking 5-star matches on a weekly program anyway. But this was just the Mike Tyson thing just killed it for me. Really did.
Does anybody else kind of want to watch the other Raws just to see what else he does?
I can't be on it again. I mean, somehow he lasts till April apparently, but he must have him doing something else.
Why want to watch next week?
It's just what we do now, Ross. We're just doing all over Raws. We're just going to go on for 30 years.
Just Did they take Heenan off commentary to replace him with this guy?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that?
Oh, it's just, is it not the most Vince thing ever? This.
And then to 30 years later, we're still annoyed.
And then to tease us with Heenan. It's like the time he took JR off to replace him with Michael Cole and then kept teasing JR was going to come back and he just didn't at the end of it. So why would you do that? Why would you just like dangle someone better in front of us? And then, yeah, I don't understand it. I don't know why he has to do it. What I will say about Vince is, right, obviously he's tried all his outside sports commentators for years. And he finally got it right with his last one in Pat McAfee.
Yeah, it's true.
So credit where credit's due. Maybe it was time to retire just for that. Like him finally doing it. But this was just, yeah. This guy's up there with one of the worst commentators of all time.
I'm going to say it. I said earlier that Stan's are my favorite tag team of all time. Rob Bartlett is the worst commentator of all time.
If we ever do a commentators tier list, which is a good idea now, I just thought of it, we should do it all the time. This guy's right. He's right down there at the bottom, isn't he? It's the pits.
He's awful. He's got his own tier at the bottom, the Rob Bartlett tier.
He's slightly above Matt Striker at WrestleMania 26, but no.
But imagine this guy. You waited that match as it was, but imagine if Mike Tyson was on the phone all the way through it.
Yeah, I mean, you know. But the thing is, like, Vince doesn't stop with this shit, does he? Because I think it's WrestleMania the year after there's a fucking Bill Clinton impersonator in a box. Like, it's just, it's ridiculous. Thank God that he didn't make it to, he had the good sense to bring in JR for WrestleMania and not use this guy.
Yeah,
because that could have ruined the rest. I mean, it was actually the worst WrestleMania of all time, wasn't it? But that could have ruined it even more, couldn't it?
Okay, we then get in a commercial for a new the show was on by Elliot WWF Mania on Saturday mornings, which is two parents sleeping and then Big Boss Man telling them to wake up and then kids jumping on the bed. Which 90s adverts are nuts. They're absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I love the fact that all the commercials were still in on this one. It was quite interesting to watch how they advertised.
Am I the only one that was really disappointed when I thought that it was advertising a Big Boss Man alarm clock?
that would have been amazing.
I would buy that. I think that would work to wake me up.
Yeah,
100%. I was quite disappointed in that it was just an advert for another TV show.
Well, if there was a Big Boss Man alarm clock, yeah, you could bet your bottom dollar that Lew would have it in his room.
Yeah. Right, so I'm not in that room obviously because it's still but
it still stinks of smoke.
It still smells, and there's something rattling inside the toaster, so it's obviously popped. So it'll never work again. I'm afraid to say. You can hear it if you listen back to the episode. There's like and they just scorched that WWE logo in there, and then it just 2
seconds.
It's a fun as I'm going to do with a coffee machine.
Somewhere else.
I'm just trying the garage or something. It's the only place that feels safe.
Oh,
I could bring around to your house if you want us.
No, absolutely not.
Try it there. I'll take you around to Terry's.
Terry Peterson, he'll try it in his house.
We'll have a cup of tea with this. Just Ben Terry's house. Right?
At least you can use the mugs.
Yeah, I can use the mugs actually. I've not used the mugs yet, but I'm sure I will. Sure I will.
Good stuff. We then get Mean Gene with a Royal Rumble report. He announces a title match between Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, and the big thing this is Sherry's going to be there, but who's actually going to be on? Oh, what a story! Who's sad Sherry Martel going to be on?
Yeah,
great. That was going to let me watch. Then Marty Jannetty does a promo. It's played from Emery Rin. He's killed a guy.
Allegedly, all it was by him.
Yeah, right? People have a go at scripted promos, and people say you should bring them back on scripted promos. No, watch early 90s wrestling, and then tell me you want unscripted promos. Yeah. Oh God! And then we get a load of people who are in the Royal Rumble, sort of going through. They announced that they're in it. They're going to say why they were. And they love doing that, don't they? Which I thought was quite good. We got quite a few people. We got Yokozuna, Mr. Fuji, Carlos Colon, Genshishiro Tenryu.
Yeah,
Jim Duggan.
The winner of the first one, Ross.
Yeah,
don't you forget.
Um,
Didn't he announce Ric Flair for it as well? But
right, so Jim Duggan was on this, and everyone seems in the Royal Rumble. Turns out he wasn't actually in the Royal Rumble. So that's good stuff from old Duggan.
Or liar.
He wasn't in it.
I'm assuming it wasn't as reliant on surprises as it is these days.
I don't think it was it? And there wasn't any stop. I don't know if there was in this one, but there wasn't any stories, was there?
Oh yeah, Ric Flair wasn't it? He went in number one.
And then we go. So the one about the WWF.
Wow, hang on. Bob Backlund was in there for an hour.
Yeah,
1993. There you go.
Have we watched the 93 Rumble? Is this the one where Savage?
No, 92 we watched.
Which is the one where Savage goes for the pin and then gets thrown out of the ring?
Could be this one. Is it by Yokozuna? He gets eliminated by Yokozuna in this one, so it could be.
Does the elbow drop and then tries to pin him, and he sort of like presses him out the ring.
I don't know, but it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And if you got eliminated by him, yeah.
Right. We go back outside with Sean Mooney, who's with some fans. We're buying tickets to next week's show, and then I guess the only way to describe this is a Jewish fella comes.
Rabbi. All right, just those guys there. I don't want to be mean, but I don't believe they were buying tickets for the show. I believe they were just hanging around outside, and some director was like, "Guys, stand this queue.
Tickets, yeah.
We'll get you a White Castle." Yeah.
So this old Jewish fella is Bartlett's Uncle Morty. He's going inside to see his nephew. I wonder if he's married to that other woman.
Sean Mooney says that. I think we just saw your wife.
Until he accidentally lowers his beard whilst talking. So Sean Mooney worked it out that it's Bobby Heenan.
Yeah.
And then one of them, I can't remember who, one of them starts talking about being a fiddler on the roof.
Yeah.
I know, this was also fantastic.
The acting skills of Sean Mooney, something else. For him to pretend for that long that wasn't obviously Bobby Heenan.
You think, because Stunt Heenan say, I think he's a way into the building from the roof.
Yeah, right.
I think that's where the fiddler on the roof comes into it.
Hands down, the best segment of Raw of all time. This is better than the It's Your Life with Mankind and The Rock.
Wow. Yeah, it's a bold claim.
This is better than Mankind winning the title and Austin coming back.
Wow. You're making some bold claims here. I'd say these are the best segments on this show. I'd go
these have got to be in top 10 of the most hilarious segments of all time.
I'd go as far as say these are the only redeeming features of this facts of the show. And Terry made us watch this. He's not even here.
And he watched. No, he started off in Attitude Era.
This is Battle Royal.
Royals, didn't he?
This is Battle Royal at the Albert Hall over again.
Yeah.
I think this is worse than.
No, that is a poll claim.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless Eden.
At least this only lasted 45 minutes.
That was the best part of this.
That was like one of the matches on Battle Royal at the Albert Hall, wasn't it? That was like...
Right, moving on then. We go
to a 45-minute Nasty Boys match.
What's that? Every WCW pay-per-view ever.
Yeah. No, it's Battle Royal at the Albert Hall. The first match was like at least 25 minutes. It's a fucking Nasty Boys. It's too much. You should watch those. It's good.
Absolutely. I've vowed never to watch it. Never will.
Sounds like we need to be another one of the second shows we review.
After Starcade.
After Starcade, yeah.
Oh God. We go to a recap from what happened on Superstars. Kamala was on there. He loses, and then Harvey Whippleman and Kim Chi are sort of berating him, shoving him about. So out comes Slick, because this was the point in WWF where there was 3 managers and they all managed somebody. Yeah. Does it matter whether it fit the gimmick? Absolutely not. That's why Reverend Slick is managing Kamala. The worst one, and I can't believe and this is only because Bruce Pritchard was wanting to work upstairs. He didn't want to be on the road anymore. The Undertaker being brought out by Brother Love. What on earth is that?
It sort of made sense there, because one of your preacher, Brother Love. met him at the church. Undertaker.
Taker. Absolutely not. Ridiculous.
He was doing a sermon and there was like a funeral afterwards or something. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, mate, do you want to fancy wrestling?"
It is absolutely ridiculous. Slick then runs out to the ring, he gets slapped about, and then Kamala attacks them both and chases after Harvey Whippleman. Apparently, it doesn't lead to much apart from some vignettes of Slick attempting to teach Kamala bowling. So maybe Ellie Raws are all about the vignettes.
So we need to dig those out. That's for sure.
That's worth watching. And then we get the main event, The Undertaker with Paul Bearer against possibly the most ridiculous wrestler of all time, Damien Demento.
Who
imagine?
I think he looks a bit like Undertaker in later years, with like the bald head and the goatee.
Mm. Imagine being a jobber and having to be like this all the time, because he's not a wrestler all the time. He's walking around town. He's doing his big shop in Walmart or wherever with hair like that.
Yeah, that's the worst bit, isn't it?
I'd do it if I was at the top of the car. Like when Kane had that, when he took his mask away, the ridiculous thing. Kane's getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Damien Demento's not. I don't know what he was on, but he's not on that much because I've never heard of him.
20 quid.
And you're walking around like that. Wrestling's ridiculous.
Could have been like a goth.
Oh, I don't know. It's a joke. Again, Bartlett's up to his old tricks, doesn't know who Paul Bearer is.
Hang on a minute. Damien Demento, though. You don't want to know this because I think you like these films. He was Eric in Die Hard with a Vengeance. Don't know who Eric is, but there you go.
A bodyguard who dies, probably a henchman.
Possibly.
This match is 2 minutes 26, and it wasn't even. It was a squash match, but it's not. You get good squash matches, and you get this match. Surely this isn't going to carry the trend of 1 star.
No, it's not. It's going to do better.
Do better.
I'm joking.
I think it should do better for 1 line, on 1 line only, right? So obviously Rob Bartlett's doing his fucking Rob Bartlett shit where he's like, "Oh, who's this fucking idiot?" And it's like, "Oh, it's Paul Bearer, surely you know him." And he's like, what did he say? Oh, like who's got the cocktail shaker or something? And then Randy Savage went, "He suddenly earned the right to manage the Undertaker," and no one picked up on it, and I was fuming because I was like, "That was a great line, Macho Man Randy Savage." So 5 stars on my rating system.
Doesn't Vince say he's the most famous of all the bearers or something like that?
Yeah,
It says like you don't know him as
long line of bearers.
Yeah. It probably is. Do you know any more famous bearers?
No. Vince is unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah. So it's so awkward. I imagine that, like, if this guy's a radio DJ, do you think Vince was just in a taxi home on there and this guy is just on doing Mike Tyson impressions? He's like, this guy's amazing.
I genuinely think that's how it was.
Yeah.
Goes to John Laurinaitis and says, "Get that man."
Yeah.
Oh, if it's John Laurinaitis, he probably hires the wrong guy. Like he hired the wrong guy with 1 leg, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which I found hilarious that Vincent said, "Go get that wrestler with 1 leg." And John Laurinaitis has found the only other wrestler with 1 leg. It's not the one Vince wants, and hires him.
Who was the other guy?
It was a great beefy fella. Yeah. He was like in his 40s, had a massive beard and something. I've seen a picture of it.
Maybe it's for the best then.
Oh, John Laurinaitis. So that wasn't in the news, was it? But he had to pull out of his latest appearance. He
didn't pull out, did he? They cancelled him.
Yeah, they got rid of him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well deserved, in my opinion.
Yeah, talk about an absolute douche. Right then, you think that would be the last bit of the night with the main event, and there was like 2 minutes. I had this match on. There's 5 minutes left, so I thought, well, it's going to be the end of this match. No, this match is 2 minutes. We then get an interview. At this point, we've only got a minute left. Doink's out there. Vince is saying, "Why are you making all those kids cry?" Doink don't give a shit, is he? To paraphrase Bot Lesnar, Doink don't care about your kids. And he starts talking about Crush. Crush comes out, and Vince is trying to interview him. You don't know what Crush is saying because Vince does not hold the microphone up to Crush's mouth. So Crush is going on about stuff. Again, a reason that promos need to be scripted at all times now. Yeah. And then Dunk runs off from him. Crush gets in the ring. If the Dunk doesn't go in the ring. And he's trying to look all hard and intimidating. And Dunk's absolutely having him all over on the floor outside. And that's how the show ends.
But it doesn't end there, does it?
Well, no. There's a little bit after this. But as in arena, that's how the show ends. This is the last bit the fans see, really.
I hope they got a dark match after this. I don't know if they did, but I hope.
Well, they got the next show, won't they, I guess.
I suppose so, yeah.
What an odd way to end it.
Bizarre.
Crush and Doink. Why not have the Intercontinental title on that last? Or Undertaker. Go Undertaker with him.
Yeah. I don't know. Because they used to we watched that Saturday night's main event that time. Did that? Is it because it's on late and they think, I don't know, they want families to watch it early? I don't know.
Because people don't watch as late, yeah.
Yeah. That's why they used to do it. I don't know if that was still a hangover from that.
Oh, something else I've just remembered. What do you think Crush's favourite word is?
I don't know.
Bra.
Oh, bra.
Yeah. You're gonna have two broken legs, bra, and broken arms, bra. And I'm gonna don't you make those kids cry, bra. I'm gonna get in the ring for no reason, bra.
What a mess. What a mess.
And then the Doink squirts him with a water gun underneath. That why they start chasing each other.
I think so.
You better not do any of your cruel pranks anymore, bro. Make all those kids cry, bro. Because I'm Crush, bro. Wrestling is ridiculous. How did wrestling ever get popular? Who was watching in the late 90s?
How did Raw go 2 episodes? But yeah, never mind.
This is the longest running episodic show on TV.
Yeah, so Michael Cole told me,
yeah. And then we go outside and find Heenan. He's just dressed normally now. He's trying to get in. But then Money says, oh, no, you can go in. But obviously the show's ended. But the security guard still tries to stop him going in. So. Yeah. I don't think he got the memo, did he? That's it. Then we get the graphic and that as Bobby Heenan's waiting for a lift. Oh, sorry, an elevator. The Americans like to call it. The review I've got here, it's got the good and the bad. The good is Heenan segments, the crowd, and the Steiners. The bad, Rob Battle is not funny.
Yeah, a fair summary, as I would say, of that show.
Final thoughts: there would be far better episodes in the coming weeks and in the future. I think that's fair to say that. Mm-hmm. What do we think then? We can't really compare it to a Raw now because it's become its own beast, hasn't it? Well, I don't know what we can compare. Let's compare it to TNA because that was their first weekly show. We've even watched their first weekly show.
Yeah, I suppose the first Impact was probably more entertaining than this, but the first TNA pay-per-view was. Yeah, I guess it was different because that was just a nightmare, wasn't it? Production nightmare. You could just tell it was
the ring.
Yeah, find the feet. I mean, this is very, as much as it seems like a normal TV show now, it's pretty groundbreaking for the time doing something like this. So, got to give him credit, I guess. Looked good. I know, obviously, it's too small for him to do Raw and that every time now.
Yeah,
I like it when the venues look different. It's like just a ball arena. So there's that.
I'm surprised Hogan wasn't on it. I thought the world champion would have been on the first one.
You would think so, wouldn't you? Yeah. They had a really weird.
Who is he the world champion?
No, it's Bret Hart at this point.
Bret Hart then.
Yeah.
Bret Hart or Hogan or whether Hogan comes back.
Big stars, yeah. I don't think this was the main show at this point. I think that's
why he's not.
That's the other weird thing. Yeah. I think it was still Primetime or whatever it was called. Yeah, was it Primetime? Primetime Wrestling? Whatever that one was. Yeah, I think it was still that at this point. This is just an extra show.
My favourite Favorite moment?
Like my favorite moment,
Favorite moment.
Just the Heenan stuff, obviously.
Yeah,
well,
Heenan.
I don't know. Actually, Randy Savage's end at line, which got zero respect for any of the commentators. It was great.
Your favorite Heenan segment then? Like this. Which one did you like best?
The woman.
Yeah, I think the woman, because the wig reveal was fantastic. Like, didn't really like it in the rabbi section where he pulled his own beard down.
No.
Thought it would be better if Sean Mooney went, wait a minute, and pulled the beard down. But yeah, great stuff.
What if Sean Mooney got it wrong though? That would have been even better. He should have done another segment where he thought it was Heenan. And he's like having a go at this guy, and he's like, "Yeah, get out of here! You're not allowed in here." Yeah. And then Heenan's like trying to sneak around the back.
It's not like the Simpsons one where who comes in? Homer comes in, he calls someone else, but it's not actually Homer.
It's the guy with the mustache, isn't it?
Yeah. Guy incognito, and it was like, I'm Guy who is Homer. I'm Guy incognito, and then he kick him out. And
like Mo beats him up or something. Mo and Lenny and all that.
And Homer walks in. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they should have done. That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Heenan. God bless Heenan. He was the absolute saviour of this show. I don't believe that show will go on for another 30 years.
No, it's crazy to see it.
Somebody's bought that show for $2 billion.
Yeah.
Someone's bought that $2 billion.
They're about to pay like $8 billion, possibly. Yeah.
Oh God. Right. Shall we rate the show? We haven't watched many Raws, have we? Oh.
No, we haven't actually. No.
We watched. We did the Raw and WCW rival when Goldberg lost.
Mankind won the title, that one, wasn't it?
Mankind won the title.
Finger poker doom,
Goldberg lost to NWO, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the finger poker.
We watched that. It's not even. We can't compare it. It's ridiculous to.
We watched Raw 1000 weirdly. At one point.
Again, can't compare. This is in its own segment.
I enjoyed it though. Mainly because it was like 45 minutes. I could fit it all in one sitting. But it's nice to look back at different time periods, isn't it?
Different eras. We don't watch a lot of early 90s wrestling, do we?
No.
For good reason.
Yeah. Not my favourite era.
Yeah, we won't be doing it every week, that's for sure. But it was good for a while.
To tell you where we will be doing it, next time Peters is on here.
Yeah.
That's when we'll be watching this. And we're not going to watch it.
We'll watch episode 2 and then we'll all just pull out. So he has to just record the episode on his own.
Yes. We'll all be busy. Right then. That's the end of the show. Coming up in the next weeks, we have the Big Fat Wrestling Quiz of the Year, probably next week. And we also have Starrcade 98? 97. Starrcade 97. The first ever repeated show.
Yes.
But Aaron wasn't here last time, was it? So we'll get a fresh perspective.
Exactly.
And we'll finally get the correct star ratings. Lew is already working on a script. So if you enjoyed last week's Christmas special, that will be coming back soon. We made we called an audible off camera. It will not be coming back at Christmas. It will be coming back much earlier.
Easter special.
The Easter special. So he's got 3 months to get it in order.
Yeah, it's how long ago? Yeah, we might do a Pancake Day special then. Do it early.
And then we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we're going to run out of films to rip off.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
And then, so that will be coming back by popular demand. I think that's it. Aaron, where can we find you?
When I can be bothered on my Twitter. When I can be bothered to respond to absolute cretins on there. Frankenstein 91.
There we go. Lou, where can we find you?
Animal Crossing Tony on Twitter. And also, hopefully, all going well, twitch.tv/wrestaround tonight.
So you can find Peters on Twitter, but you probably won't be able to.
If this goes out on time. It's Clash at the Andrew Castle tonight.
Clash at the Andrew Castle tonight. Finally. He's no excuse now. You've got absolutely zero excuse.
That's true.
You're going to finally get the Snaker against...
Under Peters
against Terry Snaker.
Yeah.
We're going to finally get... I can't remember the card. I don't know what any of the storylines were.
It's got a BMG versus the Big Bad Wolf.
Business Horse had gone over to Wrestled Out, hasn't he?
Oh, we think he has. Yeah, what's that Business Horse? That's
After we worked in that office for a bit.
Yeah.
Got sacked.
It looks a bit different in that Business Horse, but he was there. Some of the stuff is happening. Maybe we'll do a bit of a reboot, possibly.
Yeah, probably. I think we need to.
Yeah.
So that is on www.twitch.tv/wrestlearound. Find us anywhere at Wrestlearound or Wrestling Around. Subscribe to us YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, all the above. You can find me on Twitter at TheRossM. That's it. Aaron, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Lew, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody for listening, and join us next week for another episode of Wrestling Around.